there's one thing that's worse than watching crafting.
It's
listening. It's listening to a discussion. No, I'm joking. Sorry, I said a mean thing. I'm sorry.
No, you've hit us all now.
Oh no,
I
sorry.
hit
Want to say something to Ferg?
No.
Will we recap?
Jen's come in.
No,
Jen has spent a week in isolation, has come in, told me my skin looks less ruddy than usual.
I didn't mean it in that way. That was a joke. I was supposed to be.
It wasn't a joke, Jen.
I was opening with your skin looks nice, and I didn't mean to follow it up, and I just kept. It's because you do this thing where you don't talk back. You leave these micro silences.
It's not micro silences. It's just silence. You don't have to keep saying everything that comes into your head. It's actually an art.
She does. Like, we need it because.
So now we know.
That's why we're making the big money.
That's why
Jen
the first
keeps saying every little thing.
Yeah, that's why the first 20 minutes of this podcast have turned. Is it because we're not talking fast enough?
Yes, yeah, I get real panicked. So someone was on the Patreon after the Patreon episode given out because, and they're right. I knew when I was saying it, I was wrong.
Oh.
I was talking about the way how birds have one hole where the egg comes out of and everything goes in.
That's not true.
No, that's true. It's not called the
hole.
Bird hole.
I'm not gonna get it. I'm gonna get it wrong again. What's the bit in your ear? The
Cochlea.
Yeah, I think that's an ear.
Cochlear.
Look, I mean, honestly, cochlea. Someone else gonna be on. It's gonna fucking snowball.
There's just no way of me getting that word right. So.
We actually just
say I was wrong, and I won't bother trying to correct, but know that I was wrong.
I think we have to stop recording our conversations.
No, I love it. I love how people getting real chatty in the chat and like correcting us all the time and giving out. I like it.
True.
Bit of pushback.
Well, to be fair, they're very patient with us.
That's true, exactly. And
but no one's forcing them to listen either.
They are forced by way of payment. So
not to
they
listen.
Can undo that. Never undo it. No one undo. I'm trying to air dry my hair today, lads. I've so much going on over here. Air dry, trying to learn crochet because I forgot my knitting. You're trying to eat my breakfast.
When you do your air dry, it's always really confusing because your fringe is always bone dry.
Yeah, it's very nice.
And then the back of your head is sopping wet.
I know, it's because
do you dry your fringe?
Is I go at the fringe with a brush.
You have to
help just to coax it. It's kind of a how to train your dragon kind of thing.
I see.
Yeah. So just coax that. And I like if I'm driving, I'm going in the car and I've got the hot air blasting.
Oh, you're doing it in the car.
You know, at every traffic light, I'm getting down to the little vent thing.
Face to face.
It's very reuse, reduce, recycle of me. In fact.
It is.
Yeah. I'm not running a hairdryer then getting into my diesel guzzling Jag.
You can't not mention that.
It's because everyone mocked me so much that then I was like, take the wind out of their sails.
Get there first.
I get ahead of them.
I'm going to really, really double down, go on and on about my 12-year-old Jag that I bought all cash from my brother-in-law. But I didn't. You know the story of that car? Seb just came home with it and the money had gone already.
No discussion.
Zero.
I would have gone bananas over that.
I'm so tired.
I know, that he got you at a weekend to say. Another correction.
Also, at any time, I could come home with like a 400-year-old sequin play suit.
That's true.
That's an investment.
Guys, correction corner.
You remember the hockey stick swindler?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I knew I was going to get in trouble about that.
No, all good. Like that, you know.
Sister,
about
not a DJ.
The GAA comments.
The DJ.
DJ Carey is not her sister.
She is. No. DJ is a name, not the profession. And then we went on a big kind of like, DJs are always up to skullduggery. And
I don't remember that bit.
Anyway,
this whole thing happens in a blackout.
But also,
I love it. Correction corner.
DJ Carey is also her brother.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah,
as well. Male.
Is a male.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we were like, her sister's a DJ. DJs are terrible.
No, they're not.
I actually thought that you knew her brother was DJ Carey and you made a joke.
Oh, did I?
That was
did
intentional.
I did know that, but I just let her go. But she's so confident. I was like, I'm sure she's right.
Me, Sophie?
Yeah.
Ignorant courage, as my mother calls it.
Have we got a creep of the week?
I have a woman who I really respect.
Oh, I love it.
Okay.
She's a woman from the US. And her name is Robin Folsom. She's 43. Faked a pregnancy and a partner just to get maternity leave. And I feel like that is just...
Baller.
I think we have to respect that.
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
She faked
Give
the
her
whole
everything she
thing.
wants.
She wanted to take a break from her £74,000 a year job at a marketing agency.
Nice.
Don't blame her. Agencies are hard work. And faked a pregnancy. But then
after?
her co-workers noticed something suspicious. I mean, probably the lack of the baby. And noticed that her baby bump had actually come. So she was wearing one of those pregnancy baby bumps.
Wow,
which is a story
I love that commitment.
Yeah.
Because you could just buy a unitard and do some just rudimentary padding,
Yeah.
and they'd be fine. But
also
that is commitment.
It's Zoom
Here's
now.
what
It's
she
all
should have
remote.
done.
She could have just kept it from the waist up.
She should have faked that she was a surrogate. You'd still get the mat leave. Then there'd be no awkward baby questions after the fact.
Where'd you get?
Do you get mat leave? Do you get the full mat leave for surrogacy?
I don't know. You should do.
I don't think you get the full time off.
Oh. So what did she do with the fake baby?
So she was the ruse was up before she even got time to take the maternity leave. According to a statement from a state inspector, it was revealed in March 2020 when a co-worker observed the lower portion of Folsom's stomach coming away from her body, leading her to believe that she wore a fake pregnancy stomach. She had invented a fake dad for the baby, a man named Bran. I mean, come on. That's a real, like, eating your cereal.
I love the fake name choosing. What's a normal sounding name?
Bran's
name.
Flakes, my Bran.
The investigator said, unfortunately, we didn't find any evidence that he existed. And that is why she's also been charged with identity fraud.
What? That's way harsh.
So
This is a matter for HR, not the police.
So
she did send pictures to the... Well, I suppose it's fraud when you rob money from a company.
She needed a break.
She needed a break. She needed some
She
healthy...
obviously had some kind of mental break. And that explains she should not be prosecuted.
So she did. Now, she told them she'd given birth in July 2020 and then was pregnant again in August 2021. So
Well, that's just down to she told them that.
They need to do the math.
Yes.
Do you know, though, I do kind of see the point in this, right? Listen to this, right? If you kind of opt to not, like, hit the kind of real bullshit annoying markers, like getting married and having a baby, you're really penalized on every level. But in terms of work day off, like, fucking, you don't have your, like, annoying year-long engagement activities that you, like, need more. I need another long weekend here to go to Carrick, and I need to drive up to the north to buy a wedding dress on the cheap.
And everyone has to pretend to be interested.
And everyone has to be like, excited about the wedding.
And you get gifts,
all the gifts, all the
Money.
people who have to shell out to go and stay the night at your multi-day, multi-destination extravaganza Celtic Tiger nightmare wedding.
Yeah.
Then you've got the fucking, maternity leave.
Straight up the rear for another 6 to 18 months off.
Yeah. And, like, if you don't do those bits, it's you
never
don't
get
have a lot of kind of outlets for the kind of work dodgery that we all need to do.
That's true.
Yeah.
So there should be an equivalent, like, mat leave that people can take that may not involve the mat element.
Totally.
Just leave.
Yeah, just
To
leave.
get the fuck out.
Just
to
extended
escape
leave,
that
yeah.
fucking place.
You should be able to pull
Especially people in media.
it's
It's very hard idea.
people in media, people in agencies, people who have to deal with
Any
human
any, like, different clients and all that kind of stuff. I think they should be allowed to be paid to just exit for a while.
Go with God.
Go with God. But it also brought up this case of a lady called Elizabeth Jasso. So this happened last year. Elizabeth's story is a little bit sad, right? Elizabeth was 31. She's from Texas. And she's from the Baytown area.
God love her.
Terrible. But she was pregnant on twins. Now,
It's uncomfortable.
Wait, do we want to listen to this on a Monday morning?
February. Yeah, we do.
Really?
We do. It's not, there's nobody's truly harmed.
Okay.
So I think it's February of last year, Elizabeth's partner was killed, right? He was shot. His name was...
Nobody was harmed.
Yeah,
here.
she did.
Well, sorry. None of the babies.
The father of her.
None of the babies.
Okay.
Milko Jasso, he was 29, and it was February 2021. He went to a house of a young woman and her 36-year-old boyfriend got into an altercation and he was shot and killed.
Okay.
Right.
No, sadness.
Very sad. Yeah. Elizabeth at that time was living with his family.
Okay.
Even though they had like a very on and off relationship. Seems a little volatile.
Some awkward decisions, isn't it?
And so after his death, everyone was really, really sad. Elizabeth is like...
They'll harvest the babies and get rid of her.
Yeah.
Elizabeth is a prolific poster to Facebook. So everything is documented, including this graveside that has a fake, I don't know what kind of gun that is, 2 different fake guns, a king.
Gee, okay, that's like an automatic weapon.
Yeah.
That's not like a handgun. It's one that requires the 2 arms.
Machine.
And quite a spread.
Yeah, so like a machine gun and you know, everything else.
Because Milko loved guns.
Because Milko loved violence.
Loved violence.
He was shot in an altercation. I think Milko was involved in, I think he was on the wrong side of the law.
I see.
So he was shot, died, but at the time, Elizabeth was pregnant with their twins. 2 twin boys named Cash and Royalty were the names they had picked out for the children. Mm-hmm. Little baby Cash, little baby Royalty.
In the name of God.
2 brothers. Twin brothers, right? So Elizabeth continued to live with the family for ages, and they threw her like these extravagant baby showers. There's all these photos of her posing with these like beautiful big, you know, those bouquets of balloons, and you know,
they were making a big fuss of her, obviously.
Massive big fuss, and they were so delighted. They actually had a maternity photo shoot in which Elizabeth posed in this kind of like mermaid red dress, and they superimposed a transparent image of Milko beside her. He's like pointing like this, and she appears to be standing on water, and then he beside her protecting baby Cash and baby Royalty.
It's the thing.
As well. So the family were delighted that she was going to be able to continue on Milko's legacy, or you know, that the family name would continue. Milko's cousin Victoria described it as a novella or a Lifetime movie. It was, you know, something beautiful had come out of something so tragic, right? And they were all looking forward to it. Milko's mother was even like, I have lost my son, but I am gaining 2 grandchildren. She was delighted, right? Now, because she was pregnant on twins, she was going to be induced. So Elizabeth was saying she was going to be induced in August 2021. The day she is to go, so on the 4th of August, she wrote on Facebook, "Y'all pray for this girl, inducement scheduled for tomorrow to bring our boys into the world." And she told everyone that the inducing was going to happen at 10 a.m. On August 5th,
they're going to be really annoyed when these babies are fake.
Super fake.
No.
Not only super fake, she just disappears.
So she never showed up at the induction. Everyone's panicking, obviously.
Everyone's panicking.
Everybody.
So they are like, oh, fuck, Elizabeth has gone missing. Obviously, this family is involved in crime. I'm just saying. Like, it's clear that they were, you know.
A crime fam.
So initially reports, the family are saying, we're very worried about her for the safety and her babies. They are doing public appeals to say that we hope you're okay. You're in our hearts. We're all praying for you. Elizabeth's friend Gigi told ABC, she's always smiling, always laughing. To not see that right now, it hurts to know maybe we're not thinking the worst. We're praying for the best. We're praying that somebody calls or she calls and that she's in a hospital somewhere and that the babies are fine. So the public cries for help were so sad because Milko's mother is like
obviously grieving the
real loss and you know speaking.
How sick is that you would be in that family, but then again, like the smallest little lie could have snowballed so quickly. Like if she even was just, she could see the joy it was bringing to this woman's life, these fake babies, and maybe it just went too far.
But the fake babies began before
Milko had died.
Yeah. That's it, because he had picked the names Cash and Royalty. But very
well chosen, to be fair.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, unique.
I mean,
It was very close.
In my Dublin 4 National School, there's easily a cash and a royalty.
You're right.
Oh,
Zev.
yeah, definitely.
Arthur's middle name is Justice.
There you go.
Justice.
Yeah.
Is
'cause
it?
Justice is his middle name. And Robin is Robin Hearts. It's true.
It's true. Well, I don't know. You promised not harrowing, and frankly,
But then
quite
what happened?
saddened by that whole story.
Did she come back?
So after 6 days, they located her. Now, someone in
I'm
because
scared for her.
because
they're gonna
someone
be
in the
fucking
family, I think
pissed
either
off.
I think it was her father was like, she's not pregnant. Like,
Oh, really?
She can't have kids. She's not pregnant. This is a lie, right? But she was using ultrasounds she bought from the internet. She had like the different stages of the pregnancy belly that she was popping on to like illustrate how far along she was
Do you think
coming.
those pregnancy bellies inflate?
I
Like,
think
as-
they're solid.
It
Zev.
would
But like, it
seem
would be
But
clever,
that would
wouldn't
be
it?
a
If there
better
was like
idea.
a kind of, yeah.
Added
she
2
had
puffs.
photos on Facebook of Milko's head on her belly being like, bless us, we're having 2 children, we're having babies. So like she was really committing to this huge lie.
She's a
But she was-
merchant of chaos.
She was disturbed.
She
Has to
definitely, yes,
Yeah.
because there was no way to end that.
No.
The foresight was missing there.
And in terms
entirely.
of like,
No
I
way.
don't know, material gain, I mean, I suppose rent free for a few months.
balloons,
So, but if this story took place in Dublin with our rent prices,
worth it.
it would have a totally different context.
Yeah.
I'd be like, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
fair. She's just made off with 50,000 out of these people for 3 months rent. But I take it it's not in a housing crisis area.
Well, I don't think she had very many options of where to go, to be fair.
Okay.
Right? Anyway, after
This story
6 days.
is devastating.
So sadness everywhere
Well,
you look.
Yeah.
No, see, here's the thing.
360. Sad.
Here's the
to us.
thing. No, because if she had faked the pregnancy post-death, post Milko's death, I'd be like, that woman is grieving and holding on to something.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Now, it's a coincidence that he was shot and killed during the faking of the pregnancy.
Yes.
You know?
Okay.
And then I think after his death, maybe her initial plan was fake a pregnancy, fake the twins, and then it like early on it could go away.
now, faking the twins is
Unnecessary.
going to be tricky. Like,
Yeah.
are we talking like just lump of, clothing
Yeah.
under a little
Baby Bjorns.
just kind of, yeah.
Is that what they're called, or baby born? I just added it.
Not Bjorns. They're not
what I thought they were
Swedish. These gorgeous little blue-eyed Aryan babies that we're all playing with called baby Bjorns.
Frankly,
Just raising a bunch of Nazis.
every aspect
From
of
that
this
tennis
story
player, Bjorn
has been not
Gorgensen.
what you promised.
Sorry. I think it's interesting.
It's interesting.
What's his name? Bjorn Gorgensen?
What?
The tennis player.
Jorgensen, I think.
Born Jorgensen?
Guys, get in touch as usual.
Agreed.
This is Cochlear. all over
Okay.
again.
Can I offer some more whimsy?
Now, but look at this, right? She's at her baby shower, receiving loads of gifts. She's got these black and pink balloons, giant teddies, these see-through
looks
thrones.
delighted.
She's thrilled.
She looks
This
gorgeous.
woman knows what she's at. Do you know?
got Post-its
Now,
there,
I
so
think they're playing some sort of baby game, naming game, or I don't know, whatever.
Too late.
The black
Cash and
balloons
royalty.
are an interesting choice. Oh, probably for
Death.
Bran.
Death.
Or, well,
For
his name
death.
wasn't
Milka.
Bran. What was
Milka.
his name?
Milka.
It's funny how one guy was Bran and the other's Milka.
Both
Now,
unbelievable.
Milko
names.
was
But
was
so good together.
Yeah.
delivered.
I love an all Bran.
Me
It's
too.
such an unusual one to love. But Jesus, the speed at which you have to eat a bowl of all Bran
Before you need to go to the
before-
toilet. You need to be eating the bran on the jacks, I think.
I was going to say before it goes to the sog.
Oh, yes, that's true. I like
But
the
you're also right before it races.
It does.
races.
Races. Dynamite 3. Sorry, Cass, what were you saying?
So sorry, the end of the story, and then I think she just didn't know how to end it. She kept leading people to believe that she was going to be induced, and instead she went to stay with her dad for 6 days.
Yes.
And then returned, but hasn't spoken out about it at all
Now,
since.
how do you avoid then? Like, the shutdown is admirable and like refusing to engage in conversation about what just happened. But again, chaotic behavior.
Chaotic, but I mean, she just was a hop, skip, and a jump ahead of the lady who faked the pregnancy and the baby for maternity leave.
Things can get out of hand. And then then you're kind of enjoying the ride.
But this is what I think happened. She was planning on ending the fake pregnancy with a fake miscarriage
Okay.
early on. But then Milko shot and killed.
Died.
And then the family just
Couldn't
grasp
need another
onto
blow,
that
yeah.
because they're like, we have
Sorry,
these
I
twins.
forgot how he died. I'm sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry.
And and then she has no option but to keep the pregnancy going. Now, she keeps buying ultrasounds on the internet, which is
Which
obviously...
is crazy because you could print them out.
Yeah, don't need to buy.
Yeah, or, show them on your phone.
Yes.
But hold on, didn't someone we know get caught with the fake ultrasound because it was the first Googled image and the little numbers on top matched something specifically on the internet?
You'd
when
want to be
someone
very suspicious of somebody.
When you
to
say
be
no,
checking
do you
those
mean
numbers.
personally?
No, someone we've done in a story.
Okay.
God almighty.
Story. Okay, guys.
Yeah.
I feel betrayed by that story because it's made me feel quite sad and uncomfortable.
But hold on, look at her holding the picture with her and the transparent Milko.
It's absolutely haunting. I mean, it's not unpleasant to look at, but I don't know where you put it in your home. Especially
say
after the
over
events
your,
that occurred. I mean,
I
that's
imagine this is going to
Definitely
go
the
over
toilet.
some sort of black velvet bed.
over a bed, black sheets.
I
Yeah.
always think toilet. Like
Toilet.
if you have a kind of a conversation starter,
Yep.
It is
I think
hard.
hang it in the toilet.
In our family home, we had a picture of Michael Flatley and my dad.
yeah.
yeah.
Two
Remember it
big red
vividly.
faces. They're indistinguishable. In fact, very alike personality-wise as well. Maybe.
Very talented.
That's
That's
the
the
only
only
time
time
we've
we've met Michael Flatley.
or my dad. Wherever
Tragic.
he is, let's wish him well.
Faking a pregnancy.
No. Oh, it's good times.
That's awful. It is hard though to play hard. I got a beautiful present for my 30th of a piece of original art from my aunt, my uncle,
Sketchy.
from
Never.
from an artist friend of theirs, and
that's
it's
okay.
beautiful.
Is it?
But it's like a bum, and it's like, where do you place
It's
a
an
bum?
arse.
Yeah, where do you put a bum? It's a
You
watercolor.
got a piece of erotic wall art from your uncle and aunt.
I don't know if they knew what it was. It's just when I look at it, all I see is a bum, and then people, I think, also see bums.
Then it goes in the jacks.
But I don't have hanging space in the jacks for the bums.
Well, I think it's directly in the bin then.
It's beautiful. I haven't hung it yet.
Sell
I
it
love
on
it.
Etsy.
No,
You'd be amazed how little you'd get. It would actually shock you. Well,
good.
I have a list of people who have had terrible luck. Like after time and time, you wouldn't believe how bad things can get. Sophie, what do you have today?
I have a little bit of whimsy, and then I have a return to my favorite. Are you ready to go back to Titanic?
Oh.
How interesting you mention that, because my first individual of bad luck, she was on the Titanic.
Oh, excellent!
That's a bit more than bad luck, isn't it?
I can do my Titanic for the Hive.
Whatever.
I'm starting to wonder how far I've strayed from creep material
No.
and into just
Well, I'm enjoying it.
deep obsessions of my own. But this is a fun story about that time that the cast and crew of Titanic were spiked with PCP.
Oh, yes.
Ah, yes.
Okay, let's wet the whistle. Did you ever hear of a woman who, in my mind, her name is Violet Jessup? Did you tell us about her already?
No.
She was, would you believe, on the Titanic. She survived. And then in 2016, she sank on the next ship she was on by the name of the Britannic.
No, you don't get
Wait,
off
do you
the
mean
Titanic and onto the
1916?
Britannic and think that everything's going to be okay.
Did you mean 1960?
I did. What did I say?
2016.
She died at 102
And I
years
was
old.
like, I remember the sinking of the Britannica. And it definitely wasn't 2016.
Time is a construct. She spent a lot of her life at sea. She was a sea steward.
and her afterlife.
Okay, hang on though. Wait, you
Just
said
as-
she got off the Titanic, nothing for a couple of years, 4 years, and then onto the Britannica.
Just let me tell you.
Okay, go on. just
So
go.
she was a steward of the sea. I'm not sure what the sea stewards do. Or whether she, as soon as she touched a boat, assumed the identity of steward. So that's what she was doing. And she was like professionally working as a steward on many boats.
Okay.
Including the RMS Olympic in 1911. And she was good at being on a boat, and this was her life. So
good.
when she then boarded the Titanic, she thought nothing of it. Here I am, being a
Stewarding.
steward in another boat. No big deal. Then, as we know, calamity struck when the boat hit an iceberg. April 1912, I can't stop. Jessup, Violet Jessup, or Stewart, was asleep. She was awoken then. She was in a cabin.
Yeah.
She was also a part of helping the women and children get onto the lifeboats.
Yeah.
So she
Together.
was together.
Package deal.
Here she says, I was ordered up on deck. Calmly, passengers strolled about. I stood at the bulkhead.
Yeah.
Terminology with the other stewardesses. Oh, stewardess. What is that?
I mean, I think we're talking
many stewards.
Flight attendant of the
a
sea.
Stewardess.
The steward
People who help people onto the boats.
What is so? It's called stewarding.
Yeah.
Steward. However, she was watching the women cling to their husbands before being put into boats with their children. I'd say that didn't happen too often. Sometime after, a ship's officer ordered us onto the boat. First to show some women it was safe.
I thought you were about to say, first to show some skin. Gets a place in the lifeboat.
As the boat was being lowered, the officer called, "Here, Miss Jessup, have this baby." And a bundle was thrown upon my lap.
Whoa. That is crazy.
So then I don't know what happened to the baby or her, but oh no, I do. Sorry. She returned to work. She succeeded in surviving. Returned to work on the Olympic in the late 2012s, another boat. Served this time not as a steward, but as a nurse. And it was the ship during World War I. And then in 1916, she went over onto the Britannic, the sister ship of the Olympic and Titanic. Must have been triplets.
It was triplets.
And 1916, Britannic hit a mine in the Aegean Sea. Sank. Jessup managed to succeed to survive again.
No
way. That's very good.
Yeah, that's it. Hit her head on the keel of the ship, but survived.
I thought you said she died second time around.
Yeah, you did.
Well, she went on then eventually to, in fact, die.
On a boat or of natural causes?
She wasn't on any other boat in the tour.
Yeah. The very next boat she got on.
She walked off the Titanic, needed to get back to Belfast and died in that
you
one.
initially said these events took place 104 years apart.
Stewarding is confusing. It's important to just stick to the facts, right? As I'm saying them, just listen carefully and follow the story. Stop becoming confused. It's not that difficult. Want to hear? This guy was particularly bad. Frank Selak, right? Croatian. Have you ever met a Croatian?
Yeah.
Oh,
I really like them. That was what I was going to say. I was going to follow on with great people. Fisher meat. They specialise in both. He was on a train from Sarajevo to Dubrovnik in 1962.
Well, Croatians either specialise in fish or meat.
They pick one or the other from birth and that's it. They stick to it. That's a really well-known thing about Croatia. And you're showing your ignorance. Embarrassed for you. 1962. Frank on his way to Sarajevo.
Yeah.
You wouldn't believe how that word is spelled. Nothing like the way it sounds. It's one of those fucking mysteries. Suddenly, Guttubin, surrounded by water. You'd think, this is not right. And you'd be right. Because it had derailed into the ocean. Or a lake.
Shit.
It was a river, in fact. I tell a lie. So right, a year later. So he survived and he helped 17, but 17 people died. But he helped
them die, did he?
Just he built a raft.
Each one into the water.
He built a raft out of people and sailed it to safety.
Stand up paddleboarded to safety.
Right, a year later, he was on a plane visiting an ailing mother, his ailing mother.
Was it a generic?
It's like was Jehovah's Witness go on like what do you call those trips?
Missionary?
Yeah, we should have ailing mother. However, he was on a plane on his way to his mum. Suddenly, again, Guttubin, door flew off the plane, sucked out two air hostesses and Frank.
No.
He landed on a hay bale and survived.
What?
Unbelievable.
That is fucking
20
cool.
people. The rest of the plane went down, 20 people dead. So in the years that followed, he was like, I need to play it cool here. I seem
need
to
to
be
stop
on some sort
being
of...
on public
I need to
transport.
stop traveling. And then within 2 years, he finally was
boat.
like, he got in a bus and didn't crash. And then he was like, oh, fuck this. I'm just getting a car and I'll just use my car around the place. And he did, but didn't the car catch fire twice? And then narrowly avoiding, so the second time it was on fire, he was driving it. He narrowly avoided a 500 feet cliff on that car accident. And it wasn't until he was 74 that his luck seemed to change. Because Frank won the lottery.
No.
No way.
Isn't that
I would say he
unbelievable?
has like chronic good luck because
He was surviving.
he's surviving all the things all the time.
Exactly.
I would say less lucky are the people who ever went on any public transport with him.
Exactly.
So he won the
To be-
lotto then?
He won the lotto in 2002. He won
Now,
more
was
than...
he like in
But
a
if he was, like-
syndicate or was this like a big win?
And if he was like, I'll take you on holidays, you'd have to be like,
No, thanks,
no.
Thanks, but no thanks, Frank.
Let's stagger our arrival
He
on this
won
holiday.
more than 6 million Croatian kuna, which amounted to about 800,000 euro at the time. Nothing to sniff at, lads.
No.
That gets you in two bed. And so that's Frank. And would you like to hear about the man who survived both the Hiroshima and Nagasaki atomic bombs?
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Very unlucky.
Jesus. Now,
His name, first name,
was he a bomb steward?
he was not a bomb steward.
Okay.
Amazingly, no. His name is Yamaguchi. He's the only known survivor of both Hiroshima and Nagasaki bombings in August of 1945. He was a naval engineer, so yes, he might have been the reason he was doing things in the area. But he worked for Mitsubishi, the car factory. So again, confused.
Did they have a hand in fabricating?
Not that because they both didn't go off in the areas that they were made. They were sent as bombs to somewhere else
But okay, yeah.
as an act of war.
No, I'm aware.
As an act of war. Anyway, so here we are. And Yamaguchi was just there, August 6th. He saw what looked like the lightning of a huge magnesium flare. Then he lost consciousness. Then he came to again. When I opened my eyes, everything was dark and I couldn't see much. It was like the start of a film at the cinema before the picture has begun, when the blank frames are just flashing up without any sound. So he was severely burnt. His eardrums had burst, but he was able to get out of the city. He was able to get up and get out, and he was like, I'm getting out of here. Got the train the next day, went home to Nagasaki. Would you believe it? Right? He joined his wife and child on August 8th, and then on the August 9th, the following day, he was at work when the second fucking atomic bomb fell. So Yamaguchi said later, I thought the mushroom cloud had followed me from Hiroshima. So his wife and son survived the bombings of Nagasaki, and in the aftermath, the radiation caused Yamaguchi to lose his hair. His burns became infected. He could barely eat or drink. He slowly did recover and returned to work as a translator for the US during the 40s. He then went on to become a teacher, and he released a memoir. Then he died at the grand old age of 93 in 2010.
Wow.
Incredible, isn't it? People's experiences.
That's interesting that he went to work for the Americans.
Yeah.
I feel like that's quite a good play because
It is.
anyone tries to give you any shit,
You keep your
you're
enemies
just
close.
like, sorry, but
Yeah, exactly. Look at the state of me.
look at the state
I
of
want
me.
a raise.
Yeah, or like, I'll take this smoke break
Yeah.
and fuck off, line manager.
Do you know what I was researching for today last night, and I came across, this is really off topic now. It's just come to me there. I don't know whether,
coming?
I don't know what's coming. Who's the weird man who wrote Alice in Wonderland again?
C.S. Lewis.
No, the other one.
Sorry,
Lewis Carroll.
Lewis Carroll.
The other Lewis. Did you know about him? And his obsession
With
with
his own
young
niece?
girls.
I have heard these things
Yes.
before.
So I went down this
And psychedelics.
Maybe so, Cass. I didn't hear about that, but he was back in the days. He had a photo. He was one of the only people in his area. He's making a bit of money to have what do you call those things? Cameras, and then he has a series of photographs of. It just is very disturbing. Anyway, do you want to hear about the guy who invented the saxophone?
Yeah.
So his name was Adolf Sax.
Yeah. Very good.
He went on to invent the saxophone. And as a child, he
It's a
was
good thing you didn't
born-
go with Adolfophone.
This child,
What year now was he?
1814. He was born in Belgium.
So it was before Adolf had been really like as a name
Rude.
tarred.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Never again now. And
There's still people using it as a name.
There are.
There's a family in America who
Don't they use it for the
Will-
wrong reasons?
They
Absolute-
do. Yes.
Yeah.
What's the right reasons?
Just to like the
Maybe
sound
it's
of the
just
word. It rhymes
a
with the
family
second
name.
It's a family name.
We're calling you after Grandpa Hitler, is it?
Great grandfather.
Okay.
So
let's go.
Adolf Sax, as a child, was obsessed with creating and making instruments.
Yeah.
Yes, and then as a teenager, he just invented a saxophone. But before that, he fell out of a window, was struck in the head with a brick or a large stone. He swallowed a pin or a needle. He also inhibited a watered down. Oh yes, he drank some acid accidentally. Then he tripped and fell onto a hot stove, landed on a cast iron pan. Then he almost drowned. And then he was burned in a gunpowder explosion, all before the age of 12.
Wow.
Yeah, and then went on immediately after to invent a saxophone.
So that's a recipe for success right there.
I'm sorry now, I've gone all over the shop with these stories.
No,
They've been
They're just,
thoroughly
I'm
loving
enjoyable.
them.
They're coming out as they're coming to
as
me.
you're like, as I have it. Just in. What's next? This
Wait
just
for
in.
this one. Henry Ziegland, okay? This is fucking mad story. This guy was killed by a bullet that had been fired at him 20 years before.
What?
You wouldn't believe this one. Okay, so here we are in the late 19th century and we're in Texas. Texas again, would you believe? And a friend of his, not a friend, in the aftermath of a failed relationship, his former girlfriend ended her life. And the girl's brother blamed Ziegland, and so took a gun, aimed at the head, but missed. Okay, so the gun fired, and it hit into a tree. So 20 years passed. Ziegland was still alive, living his life, and he was getting ready to clear a bit of land, and decided to take a bit of dynamite and blow up this particular tree.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Did he not remember that the bullet was lodged in it?
He didn't know where it had gone.
Oh.
It just fired and it was gone. And then, so he made a hole in the bottom of the tree, stuffed it full of dynamite, lit it, tree exploded, bullet fired out into his face.
What?
I know. The truth is, in fact, stranger.
This is Final
Then-
Destination stuff.
Isn't it?
That's wild.
That's insane.
Don't look into that story massively deeply, I'd say.
Are you having memories that it didn't occur?
It's just,
What's his name again?
It's like the Bible. Ziegland. Henry Ziegland.
Okay. That
Anyway.
is wild.
I'll wrap it up there unless you want to hear about how much of a pedo Alice in Wonderland author was.
No, we'll go into that deeply someday, maybe.
Yeah.
It does ruin it, though.
Someday.
Yeah.
It's always, they're there lurking around, like ruining R. Kelly songs, stealing Michael Jackson's talent away. They're all tainted
Because they're all bad people.
because they're bad people. Are we allowed to enjoy the things?
I don't know.
I
Don't have an answer for that.
I once watched a porno of Alice in Wonderland.
No, cut that out.
It was made in the 70s. It was like a, you know when you watch,
Okay, so
you know when
So
you're watching.
when
there's
Elise-
only one main human character in that.
And she's a child.
Yeah. Oh no, I didn't watch child porn. I'm nearly sure
That's
of it.
cut.
I-
We're just getting out of this. It's too.
Okay,
it's
never
too-
mind. Anyway, so that's
Would
the
you believe
story.
this is my second horrendous child porn conversation of today so far? It's not even 10.
What was the other one?
I was talking about Serbia, the movie, with my friend in a WhatsApp group that's called Corpso. So it's not a great place in there. There's a lot of darkness in that WhatsApp group.
And what happens in the movie? Terrible things. Okay.
Like, I was like, oh, I really want to watch this movie. How it began was, okay, so this is a story, and it's from Lisa, who is a listener. basically she follows a Reddit called I Want to Learn To.
Yeah. ...
And she's like, oh, I thought this would be a pleasant Reddit. Like,
Yeah.
you know, people
Stuff
being like,
I
I want
know.
to learn how to make bechamel. And
Yeah.
crochet, which I'm just learning at the moment. Dog shit. It looks like dog shit. Also, the dog, who, as you know, I am barely a fan of, is fucking lying on my hoodie.
Oh,
she loves doing that.
She loves that.
Look at her. Just
Is she happy and
Sophie,
cute
let it
down
happen.
there?
Let it happen. Okay, so
let it-
anyway, so Lisa was following today, I learned, and she saw... What?
Why are you
Just
laughing?
how
for?
much you hate the dog.
It's just an outrage.
Scout sleeps on your stuff every day.
And you never
And
notice.
I never know.
She moves between you and Jen's because you always leave your
Coats on the floor.
on the floor.
That is class. Oh my God. Because I do come away every day and I'm like, oh my God. Like, how do people with dogs cope? That dog stink. It's all over me and I was barely in the room.
You're not
Aw.
making any friends. People love dogs.
I know.
People
I
love
love dogs.
specifically love Scouty.
They love Scout and her tiny face.
She's a star.
Yeah.
Do you want to hear an uplifting story briefly?
Oh, what about the child
s-
porn?
she's-
It's about
she's-
to finish
take-
the-
okay, to
today
finish
I
that.
learned. Oh, well, no. I mean, there's not much else to it except that somebody posted this kind of like desperate pleading post that was like, I want to learn how to forget.
Oh.
And everyone was like, what's going on? You okay there, hon? And the person was like, I just watched Serbia and I'm so traumatized. I keep having flashes of it. I can't.
Is this not the worst film ever made? I also watched this.
Okay, so
Which
it was
is,
banned.
Yes.
And it came out in like 2014, I think.
Yeah.
And it was kind of, well,
Darkness.
this is all coming, 2010, all coming from listener Lisa. And she basically was like, you definitely came right around the kind of torture porn
Yes.
era. And then there is just
And
every
raping.
bad thing you can conceive of is
In a
in
film.
this film. And anyway, interestingly, on the thread, people were like, if you want to forget, Tetris apparently is very good for
really?
immediately
Taking your mind off.
short-circuiting intrusive thoughts and things like that.
That's very good to know.
Okay, this is
Soph.
according to Reddit.
That was
But
worth a
then
try.
Lisa said she read into it a bit and there seemed to be some, yeah. So anyway, pretty grim.
What's the name of the film? Just Serbia.
A Serbian film.
Can I play a little 11-second video before you go, Cass?
It's been
Yeah.
banned in 46 countries.
Oh yeah, and rightly so. If you do torrent it, just you can't unsee a lot of the shit.
There is.
I wouldn't do it.
It's there's kid stuff.
Yeah.
Like just.
And this was a film that they made legally.
How's that going?
I made an absolute balls of this. Okay, 1 minute. I'll just bring it back to the start.
Are we recording, by the way?
Yeah. Would you believe?
Scientists were able to mimic Nessie Amun's voice by recreating his mouth and vocal cords with a 3D printer. It allowed them to produce a single sound. Scientists were able to mimic Nessie Amun's voice.
Play it again. I need again.
Hilarious. Hold on there now. Hang on.
It allowed them to produce a single sound.
It's so good. That's what we're gonna.
Sorry, this is they were unpacking I think it was in Egypt, a mummy anyway. It was like
No
thousands
context is
of
even better.
thousands of years old. But what did they
Oh, Jen, that's what we're going to do after you are gone. Cassie and I are going to print out your vocal cords and mouth and you'll just be on that side of the table.
It'll probably be more coherent.
Yeah, probably. Just follow. It's not hard.
That's so good. Oh my God.
Anyway, what are we going to say? Lift us up there, Cass?
Oh, just the positive story. Last week there was people were sharing this story on Instagram of a dog that was 7 who couldn't find a home in the Clare Animal Welfare, and The dog got a home. The dog got a home. It was a day before the dog was going to be put down, and everyone stepped in, and the dog got a home.
That is tragic for the people who have now been saddled with that dog that was essentially filed under
Your shoulders. You.
Okay, does anyone want a haunted pub?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, this is only
talking. What time is it?
It's tomorrow. It's honest to God. It's 24 hours of incoherent bullshit.
To be fair, this is only going to add to it. In fact, I'm backing away from.
The worst part is like all of these like crying laughter breaks just come across as pure silence in the podcast for everyone else. Like you have to watch Jen's reaction to know that she's laughing.
That she's vibrating. She does sometimes punctuate with the snort, which is
It's
good.
the wide mouth off into the distance laugh. God.
I feel like, do you know those cards that you can buy that have like an audio element? You open the card and it like sings or something like that.
Yeah.
I think putting that into like a coffin lid so that you open the coffin to go, ah! and then close. That would be too good.
Oh, God.
Okay, what about
Take us home.
dad who named kid Hitler is tired of being treated like garbage? So, sorry, we mentioned him, but I do feel like, is it worth just going a little bit deeper here? This story started when he ordered a birthday cake for his son, Adolf Hitler.
Oh yes.
Oh, for Jesus. The full whack, was it?
Now,
First and second.
Because his
Yeah.
name is like Adolf Hitler Byrne. Like, doesn't he have a last name? Hitler isn't their legal last name.
Campbell is the last name.
Yeah, so he's Adolf Hitler Campbell.
Campbell got away with that scot-free, didn't he? There's still loads of them floating around.
Campbell's.
Yeah. Like the people.
Soup.
It's just weird that we've just chosen his first and second and then collectively agreed that we shall never mention the fact that Campbell was involved at all.
This isn't the actual Hitler.
Oh, you talking about the kid?
Yeah. Did you just think that you learned that Hitler's full name was Adolf Hitler Campbell and that it was kept secret from the world because of Campbell's soup?
Yeah, big soup.
Big soup.
Sorry.
I love you.
But how the fuck do you randomly know what this weird kid's third
I'm
name
listening
is?
to the story.
just read the
Follow. It's
headline.
not hard. I'm listening to Sophie. Same way that you demand our attention and then refuse to give it back.
You're right. Sorry. Sorry.
Also, did you just think Hitler's dad was ordering a birthday cake for Adolf?
No, I was with you. I was with you up to there. It's only when
Okay,
Cassie came in.
Okay. Excuse me. So the dad's name is Isidore Heath Campbell. And he insists that he's just a misunderstood Nazi dad.
Okay.
So he says that his clan, unfortunate choice of words there, is being treated like garbage, all because of his affinity for one of the most evil figures in history. I might even push him right to the top. A person makes a person, a name doesn't, he says in the new documentary. They're not burying the lead with this title. It's just called Meet the Hitlers. And I feel like it's a bit like, is Robert De Niro going to show up?
Exactly.
So apparently it's been released Tuesday on iTunes, Tuesday of 2016. This is one of our news flashes from 2016. So basically, he actually so the first all kicked off when he complained that this supermarket refused to write his 7-year-old's name on the birthday cake. Then, a few days later, Campbell and his wife Deborah, both, if it wasn't obvious by now, white supremacists, had their children taken away.
Yeah.
The rest of the children are called Jocelyn,
Okay.
Aryan Nation.
Jocelyn Maballs.
No, Jocelyn, Aryan Nation.
Oh.
Right.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Um,
That doesn't work.
Do you know what?
Arian could have just worked as a name.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been a still harsh callback for that kid. But anyway, Jocelyn Aryan Nation, Hanslin Genie, Hanslin Genie, and Heinrich Hans, named after none other than Heinrich, our fave, Heinrich Himmler. And
They should just lash in a Stephanie. Just, just nothing. Just a norm. Really single out one of them.
He in defense of his quote unquote clan, he says, I have different beliefs. He goes on to detail some of them. All of them are hateful, so I won't repeat them. And basically, they're like still trying to battle to get their kids back. And
It's a fucking mess.
in 2013, he marched into, and I feel like they're using marched literally.
Yeah.
He marched into a New Jersey courthouse to persuade a judge to allow him visitation dressed in full Nazi regalia.
Oh, God.
Like, it's not just you can't name your kids this. There is violence in the home.
Yeah.
Or certainly like suspected by the state there's violence in the home.
Good God.
Yeah, he's not great.
No, they sound like dreadful
He
people.
has I mean, obviously tattoos with various
I see.
symbols. We have an unfortunate one in our house. I don't know if I've brought it up on Mother Pod about
What?
Rufus's F's.
What's happening?
Just the way he writes them.
Oh, there is a swastika.
Oh no.
Is it? Yeah.
It's just
That's awkward. Yeah.
so there we go. There we have it.
That's got to round us up. What an amazing episode this has been. Sorry.
And if you'd like to pay for this content, you can do
Oh
so
my God.
patreon.com/scriptdive.
Do you
Thank
know
you.
what we
very
should
much.
do? Oh, Jesus.
Write
Yeah.
individualized apology letters to everyone who does already pay.
Well, yeah, or I was going to say we could go back and like maybe re-listen to sort of some early creeps just to remember what it is we do here.
Yeah, we should. I think that's good. It's funny how when you recommend.
Even
Direct
more homework,
insult.
Jen.
Do you ever
No.
like go to recommend the podcast to someone? You're like, oh, this is my
absolutely
podcast.
don't.
Or someone's like, I want to listen to your podcast.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
like, let's
Which
go back
episode?
to. I go back to honestly the first 3 we ever recorded.
No.
Yeah.
I always recommend it to people.
The
I'm
first
like-
3.
I might go back to the start. You won't know what's going on.
Oh shit. That's
Yeah.
bad.
It's because we are like
We're
into
too in
some
it.
snake eating its own tail of self-referential
I don't think
Uh,
so. We're just 3 gals
arseholism.
having a good laugh.
Before we sign off, I just want to put something out into the universe because I need answers. Okay, so for people who are watching on the Patreon,
Oh
you can
yes.
see that I'm wearing the friggin' coolest creep dive top.
It's
And-
amazing.
We were sent these
Yes.
so long ago,
Where the hell
and
is
we never got to the bottom of who sent them.
Did we not?
There was a missing. Yeah, we got
Something-
the package. We like came across the package, opened, or something. I can't remember. There was no note. We have had a couple of things where there's been no note with them, so we don't know who they are, and we just put them out.
But anyway, I
This
put it
one-
on my Insta the first time I wore it, being like, if you sent this to us,
Thank you.
DM me.
And no one ever did.
Nobody ever did. So then I was like, they're not an Instagram person.
Okay.
But if you still listen, and maybe at this stage they've
Flaked off.
probably, it's petered out. But if you're out there,
Thank you.
please get in touch
Yeah.
and let us thank you properly. 'Cause
Thank-
aren't they so cool?
They're amazing.
They are lovely.
Guys, where the hell is our intern?
What?
Where's our intern?
What intern?
There was one here last time.
She was on work experience for 5 days.
Oh. Oh.
I know.
She was 15.
Yeah.
Did you just think she was in this room while you were talking about that time you watched?
You've been in here
child
for
pornography?
21 hours.
Bye.
Bye.